$100 a year from one of your hobbies in your spare time. Okay, so if you're really, really committed today and enthusiastic, and remind me and I'll cover that before we finish today. Does that make sense? The other thing I'll look at is a strategy. Who would like to make some tax-free money? I'd like to make some tax-free money, okay. Of course, legally, okay. In this country, it's important to do it legally, otherwise they'll send you to jail, okay. So we're going to look at some ways that you can do that. You know, give you an example of how to make, say, $35,000 a year tax-free from a property investment strategy. And who would like to learn how to be able to potentially borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions of dollars, that can make you money while you sleep, make you rich basically, and if there was a way to do it where you never had to pay the money back? Who would like to know how to do that? Okay. Well, remind me if you're really, really committed, okay, and I'll cover that strategy as well for you. So we've got a lot to get through. And so my challenge is this. You can learn a lot of information, but my challenge is this, is if you want to produce results rapidly, then what I suggest, one, you need to do a couple of things. One, keep an open mind. Is that true? Now, I want to make this assumption. If you're in the room here today, you're an open-minded person. Is that true? Okay, otherwise you wouldn't be here. The second thing is to consider, one is to take lots of notes as well. Because there's only myself, we have different speakers throughout today, take lots of notes. Because one of the keys is, what happens at school, when we're looking at school, say, a lot of us didn't really learn. Does it make sense? What we were at school taught us to memorize, basically. Who remembers having an exam, and the day before or the week before you would read all your school notes to memorize to sit through the exam. But if you had to sit that exam 6 months later, you'd probably fail because you can't remember, unless you restudy it again, you can't remember. That's called memorizing. So school was effective at that, but not really learning. And you can't just memorize what we're talking about here today. So if you want to get the best results, I'm going to suggest you this is the fastest way to learn. The fastest way to learn is, guess what? Is to teach. Do you realize that? The fastest way to learn is to teach. So here's the way that you do it, and what I do, and this is the way that I do in a seminar, and we'll do it today. In other words, imagine this. Would you listen differently today? Would you take more notes? Would you make more effort to understand the strategies and concepts we share today if I said, here's the deal. I'm going to teach you this stuff today, but come 6 p.m. tonight, you have to stand up in front of 150 people, and you have to teach them everything that I taught you today. If you had to do that, raise your hand if you would actually pay more attention. Okay? Because